Welcome back. So I know this review is going to go up really late. I do apologize for that. The reality is that, we get home, I get settled, I got to do my boards, and of course, there's nothing on them, so I got to come home, write out as much as I can. There's no notes because I didn't watch the games. I just kept track as the night went along. So, this review should be shorter. Notice I said should be shorter than what they normally are for having 8 games. Starting with Toronto at home against Tampa. I am losing my voice. I apologize for that as well. The Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, this is a gutsy performance. I did see the first period of this game, and what a performance by Toronto in that first period. Really, seriously. Not a word of a lie. Nylander scores his 31st from Tavares and Marner at 12:42. And there's two things going on here. One, Toronto plays a really good game, and two, well, Tampa gets outshot 17-6 in the first. So Tampa looks like they're kind of on cruise control, and I don't know what to make of them right now. They beat Boston, then they lose in a shootout against Detroit. I treat that as a tie, but still a tie against Detroit, right? And then tonight, second period, the shots were 15-5 for Tampa. So the shots tell you that Tampa played much better in the second period, and they get the goal. Palat from Kucherov at 15:22. It's 1-1 after two. In the third, the Tampa Bay Lightning, their penalty kill, run into some trouble again. So Toronto, if they can keep this power play going at this rate, and at times under Sheldon Keefe they've been able to do that, they have an excellent chance of not just making the playoffs but being dangerous in them. Matthews scores his 47th of the year from Marner and Tavares at 3 minutes and 38 seconds. The shots are 14-12 for Toronto in that third period. So very well played third period by both teams. Both goaltenders kind of steal the show. Your 3 stars are Marner, Anderson, and Vasilevsky. So Vasi in net has a really good game, but they come up with the loss. He saves 34 out of 36 in the loss. Anderson saves 32 out of 33 in the victory. Power plays, Tampa goes 0 for 4. Toronto goes 2 for 5. And with that, it makes it a little more difficult for Florida. They do gain the 2 points on Tampa, but like I said this morning, they're 13 points back. Now they're 11 points back at Tampa. It's not very likely to happen, but you're saying there's a chance. I guess there's always a chance. Next on the board is Nashville against the Montreal Canadiens. So this one as well, and I did have a chance to watch some action in the first period before we left. I did for the first 4 games. Shots are 14-7 Nashville after the first period. I thought they played very, very well. And what's impressive is that in the second period, they maintain it. So when you have a period like that on the road, it can be kind of deflating that you don't have a goal. And the home team can rebound. Now, Montreal gets its share of shots in that second period, but Saros has established himself as the guy now. I think you'd be foolish if you're Nashville to say, well, we're going to split him between Rene and Saros. You know what? Saros is the guy. Johansson scores from Forsberg and Arvidsson at 51 seconds. So that makes it 1-0. Then it's 2-0. Yarncroke scores from Turris at 2 minutes and 57 seconds. So this has been a problem for Montreal all year, where they will allow back-to-back quick goals. So here they're a little over 2 minutes apart. Forsberg then scores one on the power play from Yossi and Smith at 8 minutes and 18 seconds as Yossi continues to have this amazing season. Capitals fans, look out, Yossi is a threat for the Norris Trophy. Forsberg then scores his second of the period, second in a row, from Yossi and Ellis at 16 minutes. The shots are 18-14 for Nashville in that second period, so 32 shots combined. And Nashville's ahead in shots and on the scoreboard, which this season hasn't been as normal as you might think. So third period, probably looking at the shots and going, gee, we should even these up a bit because when we win, we traditionally don't have as many shots as the other team. At least it feels that way. So in the third, Montreal fighting for pride. First, it's Lehkonen scoring from Ouellet and Suzuki at 2:45, so there will be no shutout for Saros. He was going for his third straight. Then Vedamo scores his first with Montreal from Weiss and Evans at 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So Vedamo gets his first NHL goal. Evans gets an assist on that. I think that's his first NHL assist. And Dale Weiss is in the middle because why not? So that made it 4-2. Montreal pushes, can't tie it up. Your final shots, your shots in that third period were 13-4 for Montreal. Your final score is 4-2 for Nashville. Nashville wins an important game. They jump back into a playoff spot with that. And Forsberg, Yossi, and Vedemo are your 3 stars. For Montreal, of course, they've been out of it for a while. This just makes it more and more official. Saros saves 32 out of 34 in the win. Price saves 32 out of 36 in the loss. Power plays, Nashville 1 for 4. Montreal 0 for 2. And again, for Nashville, this just solidifies them as a playoff team. Next on the board is Pittsburgh in against New Jersey. So Penguins fans, do you feel better tonight? Do you feel better tonight? Keep in mind, this is a New Jersey team that coming into this game, playing very well. 6 wins in their last 10, I think 7 in their last 11. They've been playing very, very well. But almost halfway through the first, Rodriguez scores his first as a member of the Penguins from McCann. So McCann gets off the snide. He gets a point there. Rodriguez gets a goal. I've always been a big Evan Rodriguez fan. I wish him only the best. Even though there are those who will say, Shannon hates Pittsburgh. So, power play for New Jersey. Gusev scores a power play goal from Zaka and Subban at 12:46. That's Subban's 11th assist. He has been putting up the points recently. His stats at the end of the year are still going to look really poor compared to the other seasons of his career, but honestly, he's played well enough lately. And if he can play this way into next year, I think New Jersey's going to feel better about having picked up PK Subban last year in the offseason. So the shots are 7-6 Pittsburgh after 1. It's a low shot period. That's kind of the way that New Jersey would want this. Keep them away from the net. Second period, there's only 1 goal. It's Justin Schultz gets it from Malkin and Rust at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. But the shots in that second period heavily favor Pittsburgh 13-6. So again, this is not in New Jersey's favor, and they're down 2-1 after 2. So third period, Malkin scores from Letang at 7 minutes and 11 seconds. So Malkin on the board there. Miles Wood then makes it close a few minutes later from Hischier at 10 minutes and 24 seconds. And then we got a pair of unassisted goals after that. First, it's Malkin at 13:18 as he initiates his own version of beast mode, which I've attributed to guys like Eichel and McKinnon. And yeah, Malkin has that as well. And it's the only way I can describe it. It's where a guy basically just wills the puck into the net or wills the chances to happen, and nobody has the strength to fight against it. I saw some of that tonight with Matthew Barzal. We'll get into that when I get to the Vancouver part of this. Letang then gets the empty netter at 18 minutes and 45 seconds, and that ends it. So 5-2 is your final in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Your 3 stars are Malkin, Gusev, and Schultz. The goaltenders, Matt Murray, 20 saves on 22 shots. I know there are people who are not Matt Murray supporters, but he gets the win here. And Blackwood, 28 saves on 32 shots. Can't win them all, and as solid as he is, he still needs the team in front of him to be more solid than this. Power plays 0 for 4 for Pittsburgh, 1 for 3 for New Jersey. But the storyline here is really Pittsburgh outshoots them in every period, and they win the game. Next up is Boston. So, you just have a sip from my beverage here. So, Boston, I want to have a little chat with you guys. What's with doing this when I'm not going to be home? So, this is kind of a jerk thing to do, isn't it? So, first period shots are 12-8 for Philadelphia. And what Philadelphia finds out right off the bat is Tuukka Rask is dialed in. Tuukka Rask has had his struggles at times over the last few weeks. But he still has a shot at the Vezina because he's still capable of nights like this. And those nights will tend to help his stats at the end of the year. He's going to have a very good save percentage. His win-loss record is going to be excellent. So it stays scoreless until 18 minutes and 39 seconds of the second period. Great goaltending duel. Grzelcyk gets a power play goal from Pastrnak and Krejci at 18:39. The shots were 12-6 for Philadelphia in that period. So through 2 periods, the shots are 24-14 for Philadelphia, and yet Boston's up 1-0. Third period, it's over halfway through the period before Boston gets that insurance goal, but they did lead in shots in that third period. So Bergeron gets the insurance marker. That's his 31st. From Marchand and Chara at 14 minutes and 40 seconds. The shots are 15-12 in that period for Boston. They played very well. Once they realized, hey, we can steal this, let's play for our goalie, they did it. And they get Rask the shutout. So, shutout for Rask. He's your first star. Grzelcyk's second star. And Bergeron's your third star. Rask, 36 saves on 36 shots. Hart, 27 saves on 29 shots. Carter Hart still putting up good numbers, but Philadelphia is unable to score tonight, and their winning streak ends at 9. This means, for Philadelphia fans, I don't do a video on their winning streak, which is good, because when I do a video on a winning streak and then the team loses, everybody goes, oh, you jinxed us. Well, if I'd done one after 9 wins, they would have claimed that tonight. But instead, they'll just say, well, he wore a Bruins jersey for the preview, even though the jersey I wear for the preview doesn't really necessarily matter. I'll start tracking that next year. There's a few things I'm going to start tracking next year just for fun. Power plays 1 for 3 for Boston, 0 for 3 for Philadelphia. And the Bruins are at 100 points. So Boston reaches 100 points, which means, right, they're out in the first round. We can all agree on that. Boston will lose in the first round this year because it looks like they're going to win the President's Trophy, and that's just death. All right, let's go to the second board. Carolina fans, do you feel better? This is 3 in a row now. Do you feel better now? Mrazek's back. Better? Everything good? This is the Carolina version of you had your Snickers. All right, we're going to get it together now, right? Detroit is usually a good elixir for a team that's been struggling. And I wouldn't say Carolina's been struggling. They'd won back-to-back games. But you know what? They needed to get on a bit of a run. This marks a bit of a run for them. And it was kind of bad news for Islander fans with what happened tonight as well, that the Carolina Hurricanes get 2 points. And for Detroit, they've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs for a while. They're not going to get in, obviously. But for Carolina, it's kind of a frustrating thing that Pittsburgh wins tonight as well, because they might have been looking up and going, hey, we can maybe get Pittsburgh here. So Geeky scores from Foegele and Gardner at 8:58. And yes, Geeky, big star, great name, fantastic name. And he makes it 1-0. But Tyler Bertuzzi has got hot. He scores from Mantha and Hronik at 13:28. So Detroit has it tied after 1. And they lead in shots 13-12. Detroit right now, they're not pushovers. Regardless of this last score, the final score, they're not pushovers. And they haven't been pushovers for the last, I'll say 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks. Second period, on the power play, Niederreiter scores from Gardner and Trocheck at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So 2-1 for Carolina. Christopher N would then tie it, who had him getting a goal tonight, from Bowie and Helm. That's an odd trio. I'm going to guess those three have never combined on a goal before at 15:26. The shots are 10-8 in favor of Carolina in that second period. But again, we're tied. So the shots are really close through 2 periods. It's a tie game. Anything can happen in the third. But special teams absolutely killed Detroit in the third period. It is their Achilles heel right now. Their goaltending solid. Their team isn't bad overall, but their special teams, when you look at the numbers, their power play and penalty kill bad, and it showed up in this one. Power play goal, Williams from Svechnikov and Aho at 1 minute and 38 seconds. Detroit gets a power play, and what happens? A shorthanded goal against. Aho from Teravainen. Late in the game, Carolina gets a power play. What happens then? Aho scores his second of the period from Gardner and Teravainen at 17:58. And so with 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal, Detroit's done. They're toast. Shots in that period were 14-4 Carolina. But when there's 2 power plays and then you allow a shorthanded goal, yeah, the shots are going to end up being kind of against you. The 3 stars were Aho, Gardner, and Bertuzzi. Mrazek saved 23 out of 25 in his return. Again, that will make his team feel better in front of him, and that'll make fans feel better everywhere. Mrazek, remember, got hurt in the game that Ayers had to go in Toronto. So since then, it's been kind of skinning your teeth when it comes to how you're going to figure out the goaltending. Bernier saves 31 out of 36. They're going to have to give Jimmy Howard a start at some point, right? Power plays 3 for 4 for Carolina, 0 for 5 for Detroit. So again, those special teams just killing the Wings. Next up, Rangers. Okay, Dallas, we have to talk about the inability to score 5-on-5 because I don't feel any better about it coming out of tonight. I believe when I saw the score, I said, dear God, not again. Fox scores from Panarin at 19 seconds. So the ice isn't even dry yet, and it's 1-0. Zibanejad would then score his 40th of the season. Congratulations on 40 goals, Mika. From Lemieux and Buchnevich at 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Yeah, he wasn't even with his line mates for that goal. Yeah, It's not like Panarin was passing to him. It's Lemieux and Buchnevich. The shots are 10-9 New York after 1, and they're up 2-0. Second period, more of the same, but it's Capo Caco. Hey, look, he got to double digits in goals this year. He scores from Howden and Fast at 7 minutes and 3 seconds, and then he scores again about 10 minutes later from Zibanejad and Fox at 17-18. So it's 4-0 for the Rangers after 2. And Dallas outshot them 11-9 in that second period. So Dallas is actually ahead in shots, but Shesterkin is back and he's healthy. And for Rangers fans, that's good news. Bad news for Islander fans. Third period, early power play for Dallas. Rope Hintz gets his 19th from Heiskanen and Perry at 1 minute and 23 seconds. And then just to make things interesting, Cogliano scores from Heiskanen and Pavelski at 11:52. The shots are 13-8 Dallas in the third period, but they are unable to push and get any closer. Your final score is 4-2 for the New York Rangers. Your 3 stars are Kakko, Fox, and Zibanejad. And no argument with that at all. You could argue Heiskanen has 2 assists. Maybe he gets consideration, but yeah, the Rangers had a 4-0 lead after 2. I wouldn't do it. Shesterkin saves 31 out of 33. Yeah, he's back. He's 10-2 now in 12 decisions. Bishop, 23 saves on 27 shots. The power plays 0-2 for the Rangers. Not that they care. Power plays 1-3 for Dallas. Not that they care. Dallas has, one 5-on-5 goal in a week and a half? One lousy 5-on-5 goal. And that's Cogliano. Yeah, I love Cogs. He's great. But that's still not fantastic news. And Dallas continues their slide. They could be on the next board that I do on who is or isn't going to make the playoffs, and Dallas could be right in there because I could see Nashville catching them. Let's see. Yes, now we're up to Vancouver and the Islanders. I did do the review on this game while in the van on the way home, but we'll discuss it here as well because that's what we do. We went to a shootout tonight because, of course, we did. It's the game I'm at too, right? So I'm like, okay, overtime. Yeah, and then shootout. Now, keep in mind that I don't leave my seat at all during a game. I try to, right from the first period right through the end of the game, sit there. So my bladder's feeling kind of full by the end of that. So by the time it gets to the shoot, I'm like, come on, this isn't cool. So I don't have anything to drink during a game. So if you ever see me during a game, you're like, Shannon doesn't have anything to drink at the... No, never. Because I know myself. Back when I was a kid, I learned that when we went to Return of the Jedi. Luke's sister missed it. I had to go to the bathroom because I had a large soda while I was watching the movie. What? I missed it? So, first period early, and I thought this game was going to end up being like 9-8 or 10-9. As high scoring as it looks, I thought it was going to be way worse. Ladd scored from Bailey and Leddy at 1:36. And I was like, wait, Andrew Ladd just got his first goal of the season against us? Oh, good. But the Canucks answered right away. It's Gaudette scoring from Edler and Stetcher at 1 minute and 57 seconds. So for Edler, that's 400 points in his career. As I said in the other video, congratulations to Alex Edler on 400 points. Toffoli would then score from Pettersson and Hughes at 2:41, which, at that point, I'm like, what's going on? Goaltending's optional, is what I said to Yvonne at that point. Like, yeah, goaltending, defense, who needs them? They're not here. But it settled down. It settled down scoring-wise until Eberle scored from Barzal and Lee at 19:01. There's no way that he should have that kind of time. And I was finding myself yelling a lot, right? Because the defense just wasn't picking up on what the Islanders were doing. And I mean, the Islanders played well. I'm not going to lie. They outshot them 18-14 in that first period. But there were way too many easy shots they got in that first period. So second period, McEwen scores from Edler at 2 minutes and 14 seconds. And it's 3-2. And it was actually kind of a good period for Vancouver all the way through until Nelson scores from Brassard and Dobson at 17 minutes. I believe that's the one they scored right after the power play ended. And it kind of deflated the crowd a little bit. There's definitely some feeling in a Vancouver crowd right now of, we're not going to blow this again, are we? Because, again, this is kind of, they'd won 3 out of 10 coming into tonight. So it's understandable fans would feel that way. Horvat would score on the power play from Toffoli and Miller at 17:51. So, the one power play that didn't do well, the second power play did pretty well. And Although, if you ask Vancouver fans coming out of tonight, they felt they should have had more than 2 power plays. That third period, there were a lot of boos going on. I don't know how much of that was heard on TV or how loud they were. It was pretty loud, though. The crowd was pretty vocal about some of the things going on. Some of it was chintzy. Some of it, I'm like, you're not going to get that. But there were a couple where I thought, wow, they've really put the whistles away. So I can understand some of the upset. I think some of it was overblown. I think it was just a matter of the referees going, we'll just let them settle it themselves. The third period, the only goal that was scored was Nelson with his second of the game from Beauvillier and Brassard at 4:32. And Brassard, there isn't a garbage goal he doesn't love. And I say that with admiration for the guy, in that in order to get garbage goals, you have to know where to go to score them. Garbage goals aren't that easy, and it's a terrible term that you get for those goals right in front of the net, which is 2-3 feet out, and just shove it into an empty net. But you have to be parked in the right spot. If it was easy to score garbage goals, you would see just any fourth liner thrown on a first line and it would work. It doesn't. So Nelson had a really good game for them, and they outshot the Canucks 16-5 in that third period. Wasn't happy most of that third period. So we go to overtime. In the overtime, the shots were 4-1 for the Islanders. Again, the Islanders had control of the puck most of that period. Demko was fantastic. I can't describe just how well Demko played. What also helped was there were some really prime scoring opportunities the Islanders had that they would pass from, where I was like, okay, they should shoot. Oh, they didn't shoot. Good. And so I was thankful as a fan there, my Canuck garb, but I was kind of surprised because I thought, okay, they're probably going to get, they didn't, because they didn't take that shot. They passed it over to that guy who took the shot instead from a worse angle. So we go to a shootout. The shootout winner was JT Miller. But during Brock Besser's turn, what kind of moron throws a puck on the ice while the home team's taking a shootout attempt? Now, what kind of moron throws a puck on the ice at all anyways? But during the home team shootout attempt, I would be mad too if it was during an Islanders shootout attempt. But there's some special morons out there. This is because I did the video where I was talking about, well, Canuck fans aren't morons, and I talked about the riot in 2011, and we're not really like that. So some moron goes, hey, Shannon's at the game, watch this. And then I was kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of glad Besser didn't get that, because he had 2 runs at it, which is terrible, right? I shouldn't be thinking that way. But Demko stopped everything he faced in the shootout. Your 3 stars are Toffoli, Nelson, and Edler because he got his 400th point. If Edler didn't get his 400th point, this spot belongs to Demko. John Garrett picked the stars. There's no way he would not have picked Demko here. Varlamov saves 30 out of 34 in the loss. Demko saves 45 out of 49. 49 shots. Every night I talk about the Islanders not getting enough shots. So they probably went, Shannon's in the crowd. Let's get a lot of shots. We'll shut him up for tonight. Job accomplished. Power plays 0 for 3. For the Islanders, 1 for 2 for Vancouver. They got to be happy with the 2 points, and Demko was sensational. And to the moron that throw the puck on the ice, what the hell? And the guy and the voiceover guy in the arena has to don't throw stuff on the ice. I'm like, oh man, that's totally going over MSG Plus, isn't it? I'm so embarrassed. Just because there's somebody out there going, didn't Shannon say Canuck fans were all cool? What is with this? I didn't say they all were, but, I kind of insinuated. We're a pretty good bunch of, who threw the puck? What are you doing? I wasn't even finished my thought. Anyways, last game of the night, Anaheim and Ottawa. This is the weirdest stat line of the night. What the hell happened here? Why didn't they pull Högberg? Why didn't they pull Högberg? What in the world made the Ottawa Senators say, well, our goaltender came out of the first period with a save percentage of 33. We'll leave him in there. Silverberg scores on the power play from Raquel and Juice at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, that's early. Penalty kills let him down. It's nothing new. But then there's a natural hat trick by Delorier. I love Delorier. I do. I think he's one of the few enforcers left in the game. And the guy fights anybody. He'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. He's fantastic. Shouldn't have a natural hat trick. This is one of those trivia questions nobody will get the answer to, say, 3-4 years from now. Who had a natural hat trick against the Ottawa Senators? And everybody will say, I don't know, Silverberg? No. Was it Raquel? No. Wasn't Getzlaf, was it? No. Did John Gibson do it? No, more unbelievable than that, it was Delorier. First from Rowney and Backus at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And I don't say this again because I don't like Delorier. I do. Just a natural hat trick. That's 3 goals in a row without anybody else breaking it up. He then scores a second from Rowney and Del Zotto. I love Rowney. I've mentioned that, right? 11 minutes and 17 seconds. And then 32 seconds after that, he scores again. This time from Backus again. So David Backus putting up points. Good. I like the David Backus story. Didn't work out in Boston. I wish him the best of luck in Anaheim. I really honestly do. Shots were 14-6 for Ottawa. How do you outshoot a team 14-6 and leave that first period down 4-0? How? Second period, Tkachuk scores from White and Brown at 6 minutes and 6 seconds. If Colin White and Connor Brown are going to be on the same line, can we get a guy with the last name of Black or Green to play on that line with him? Because I want a line like the Crayola line, we can call it, where it's green, white, and brown, or like just something like that. Something fun for the Ottawa Senators. This game wasn't fun for the Senators. Anaheim then gets a power play, and it's Raquel scoring his 15th of the season on the power play from Jones and Henrique because Ottawa didn't kill a penalty tonight. 9:52 is the time of that one, and the shots in the second period were 14-5 in favor of Ottawa, meaning after 2 periods, the shots are 28-11 in favor of Ottawa, and they're down 5-1. Holy crap! Third period, Ottawa outshoots them again. White scores from Tkachuk and Shabbat at 13:46, and they outshot Anaheim 14-4. So I'm sorry, it's really late. I'm sorry. I can't believe this stat line. 14-6, 14-5, 14-4. Every period, the shots are in favor of Ottawa. 4-0, 5-1, 5-2 is your final score in favor of the. Yeah, this is backwards. I apologize. It's really late at night. Let me just fix that. Because, I think my brain went, this stat line doesn't make any sense, so I'm just going to flip the score. Holy crap, 5-2. How do you do that? Hogberg saves 10 out of 15. He had a save percentage of 66.7. I like Hogberg. What happened? Was he missing a leg? Did nobody realize this? Is he a Lego man and he's missing? I don't know. Delorier, Miller, and Raquel are your 3 stars. I might be overtired just a little bit. Miller saves 40 out of 42. 40 out of 42 in the win. Miller, great game. Every time the puck went the other way, he got a bigger lead. So it's good. Ryan Miller works really well with a 4-0 lead when he's faced 14 shots and there's only 6 that have gone the other way. He can't even complain. Can't even say at the intermission, you guys only got 6 shots, I faced 14. He's got to be like, oh, you guys got 4 goals. I didn't allow any. This is a good plan. Let's continue that. My God. Power plays 0 for 5 for Ottawa because it sucks. 2 for 2 for Anaheim. So Ottawa wants to get back to 31st in the power play and penalty kills situations, I guess. I don't know. Maybe this is just one of those one-offs. And, yeah, bizarre. That's the bizarre scoreline. So one of 2 things happens. Either Hogberg has just a miserable game, or the defense in front of him, when Anaheim gets a chance, it is a prime scoring chance. There you go. You guys are all caught up on tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I don't mean to laugh at what happened to Ottawa tonight, but kind of sort of am. And then when I got the score backwards, that's it. All composure is gone. I apologize to people for getting the score backwards. Like I said, hurriedly trying to put this all together. Now I'm looking at all the scores like, did I get anything else wrong? All right. Thank you guys so much. I apologize for this video being up so late. It may happen again on the 17th. The Vegas home game against Dallas. We may see a late review that night. We'll see how things work when I'm in Vegas, which we will be in 4 days' time. Because right now it is actually the 11th because it's really late. I apologize for that, but right? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Do hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video in the middle of the night. And hey, this is fun. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow where hopefully my voice has returned to normal.